Hey guys, this is Deanna.
Hey, I'm Brett. Welcome back to week 8 of Hard Lessons, True Crime and Paranormal podcast. 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
2 months.
Doesn't seem like that.
We're getting to be professional.
Right?
We could be doing this 8 years and I don't think we would still be professional. But
Never.
it's been a fun 8 weeks. So Teach, how's your week been?
It was pretty good. It was really good.
This was an amazing week.
It was the end of our first 6 weeks at school.
Yeah.
A little bit interesting. I mean, it's always interesting that last week of 6 weeks scrambling.
Yeah.
We got our water heater fixed, so that was like the highlight of the whole 6 weeks, basically.
5 weeks without hot water.
Mm-hmm.
We got it fixed on Thursday.
Uh-huh.
I have probably taken 42 showers between here and there to catch up. It was...
Scrubbed in places you hadn't scrubbed?
Cold water can only hit so many joints.
Right?
It was funny. Thursday night, after supper, Sam went and took his shower. And when he got out, he came in here to get something to drink. And I asked him, I was like, dude, how was that hot shower? And he turned around and looked at me and said, way better than a cold one. And just kept on trucking.
Yep.
Man of many words, that Sam.
Absolutely. Makes you grateful for what you do have.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We also got to see the world's most amazing granddaughter.
Oh my gosh, that was the best.
It was. We painted pumpkins. We put up the Halloween inflatables.
Yes.
We had a good time. I think I won the...
We needed to, too bad we couldn't, show them. Somehow show them.
Well, we can put it on the Facebook page.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
And Instagram. We can take a picture of it.
Talia.
Well, she's busy too.
I know. Couple of things before we get started real quick. First and foremost, I am limited in my technical abilities. So we have brought our son Sam on board as our technical advisor. And I think we're not going to do video because, like Uncle Carol brought to my attention, I've got a voice that needs to be heard, but a face that really technically does not need to be seen.
Hey, that's not right.
That's not what the man meant. I just got to poke fun.
Oh, okay.
But I think we are going to start also putting these episodes on YouTube.
Cool.
So I think he and I got that worked out.
I'm so happy you have a hobby you like.
I'm digging this.
Cool.
I'm digging this.
Hey, Binks.
Also, other bit of good news. I kind of left everybody on a cliffhanger last week, saying I got some news, but I can't say. Hello, Binks. For those that don't know, we have a solid black cat, and of course, her name is Binks.
She's needing your attention.
Well,
Pet her head.
So anyway, our good friends at Nosy Nancy's podcast, Nosy Nancy's.
Oh my gosh, you don't even know who they are.
I better get the name right, huh?
You better. Oh my gosh.
There's something subliminal going. Remember back to the first episode, I said they were detrimental to us. Now I can't even get their podcast name right. Nosy Nancy's. Go give them a listen. They're doing awesome. They're getting ready to gear up for season 2. They took a little bit of a break, about a month off. Teach is raising her hand. Yes, ma'am.
How long does the season last? As long as you wanted to?
I'm assuming so. I don't know. I know they did 12 episodes in their first season. And then
so that's 12 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I don't... Aliqua? Jasmine? Is it up to us to decide?
Or anybody?
Or anybody?
Out
But anyway, so they have asked me to be a guest on an episode in their new season.
Now, was you supposed to say that?
They told me I could.
Oh, okay. I
'Cause I
wasn't
left it
privy
as
to all that, so I didn't know.
Well, you were sitting right next to me while we were talking on the phone.
Doesn't mean I was listening.
Does not mean you was listening. So, anyway,
Apologize.
I will be recording this coming week with them, and some point in season 2, you'll hear my voice on their episode. I hope I do it justice. Maybe they'll invite me back. So, yeah.
Heck yeah.
There's that. I really think that's all the news and everything, unless you have something to... Oh, I do have to give high praise to the teach. As we've said before on here, she has gone back to work on her master's degree. She's already finished her first class, and she got her grades this last week and scored a 92 on it.
I don't know.
So-
No, I don't know.
It's in the past. I passed. I'm a step closer.
Yep. 1 out of 12 classes to go.
Boom. 1/12 done.
1/12 done.
All right.
Graduate 2024.
I will be a kept man.
You can keep the laundry going. And food. You know, we all gotta eat.
That's right.
All right. All right, class. Let's start.
All right.
I forgot my line.
That's not getting edited out.
Never, man.
So the more you know.
The more you know.
A 600-pound octopus
Okay.
can fit through a hole the size of 1 inch in diameter.
Okay, I need to know what this 1 inch of diameter looks like.
About the size of a nickel.
No way.
YouTube it. Not right now.
Oh, okay.
Not right now. But YouTube it.
So, what size octopus?
600-pound.
So that's got to be pretty big.
Well,
Well, I don't
it's
know.
like 2 of me, so
Yeah, but it's an animal.
yeah.
So,
Don't YouTube it right now.
okay. You'll have to remind me and then ask me next week what I thought about that. Like 800-pound octopus.
600.
600. Well, I just gave him 200
Yeah.
pounds.
I mean, maybe an 800-pound one can also.
the
I don't-
size of a nickel? Okay. Yeah, we'll have to see this.
All right.
So is this like some needless information that we need to file back into our brain in case we have it on a Jeopardy question or something?
You know, it could happen.
It could.
And there is a lot of setup on today's story because, you know, we're doing paranormal.
Yes, paranormal. Ooh,
So
make me a believer.
there is a lot of setup to it before we get to the spooks. So we're going to get started. You want to take a guess as to what the subject is this week? I mean, the subject is
Oh, I was
paranormal.
gonna be like,
But you want to take
paranormal.
a guess as to what I researched for paranormal.
Honestly, there's so much out there. I don't even know. Like,
Well, I'll give you a hint.
okay,
We're going international.
okay, that doesn't help. I'm going to say, I'm totally gonna make this up, but the lady in white at a castle.
Do you know how close you are?
No, really? How close?
Very close. We're going to be discussing the Tower of London.
The Tower of London. Okay, so that's a castle? That's a castle. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Speaking of our technical advisor, you want to say hi, Sam?
Hi.
That's our boy, man of many words.
all right, so the Tower of London. Right?
Right.
Okay.
The location is, and I don't know if I'm doing this right or not, because everywhere I Googled, this is what come up.
So if you Googled it and every place you found it,
It just sounds weird to me, but maybe because it's not American.
yeah. I'm gonna agree.
Okay, so location is London, EC3N 4AB, United Kingdom, Central London, England.
What do those numbers mean? Is that like their address?
Kitty Kate, can you chime in on this?
Well, not right this second, but I'm sure she will.
I'm sure that would be cool. She was like, by the way.
Yes, please tell us what those numbers mean. 'Cause
Yeah. All right. Construction. The Tower of London is one of England's most iconic structures. William the Conqueror, Duke of Normandy, built the White Tower, and this blows my mind because it just doesn't seem like it should be a year. Built the White Tower in 1066 to demonstrate the Normans' power. He purposefully built it on the River Thames to act as both a fortress and a getaway to the capital.
Okay.
Construction of the White Tower was completed by 1100. The first prisoner was Ranulph Flambard, Bishop of Durham.
Okay, wait a minute.
Okay.
So the tower was actually a prison?
When it was first built, yes.
Oh, I thought it was a castle.
Well, we're getting there.
Okay.
You gotta crawl before you can walk.
Okay.
The inner ward was built in the 1190s and then rebuilt in 1285.
Okay.
The wharf expansion was between 1377 and 1399.
This was just a busy place.
Yes, ma'am. Between 1154 and 1189, a forebuilding was added to the south side of the tower to provide extra defense. The construction must not have been too good because it did not survive.
Well, maybe somebody burned it down.
It's like the Titanic, they went with cheaper material.
Supposedly, man.
Supposedly. In its 1,000-year history, only 22 people were executed inside the Tower of London. Most of those in the 20th century. Just outside of the Tower of London sits Tower Hill, a public place that witnessed hundreds of executions.
Okay. So I'm going to guess that because of these executions, there are supposedly haunted people or souls that haven't passed on, and they are wreaking havoc upon the land.
We're going to get there.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Legend of the Tower Ravens.
Okay. Birds.
Ravens, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Charles II is considered to be the first to insist that the ravens of the tower be protected, after he was warned that the crown and the tower would fall if they left. There must be 6 ravens at the Tower of London at all times.
Like even now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
To this day, there is still at least 6 there. King Charles II reigned from 1660 to 1685. The ravens are tended to 365 days a year. They dine on mice, rats, raw meat, chicks, and a special treat of biscuits soaked in blood. Now, I don't think these are like Pillsbury biscuits, because in England they call biscuits
Cookies.
they call cookies biscuits. So I don't know if it's
So
a cookie or if it's like a floured biscuit
Dipped in blood.
dipped in blood.
Gross.
Well, I mean, ravens.
I
So.
don't know anything about them, except now I know that they like blood.
The Raven Master will trim the ravens' primary and secondary flight feathers to encourage them to stay.
Oh, so they're pretty much holding them hostage.
But they have such a neat place to live. Why would they want to go away?
They're birds.
And they get fed blood-soaked biscuits. Where are they going to get that if they leave?
Maybe they need a vacation.
They might. Okay, guards at the tower.
Okay.
They are called yeoman warders. They also have another name that we will get to in a moment.
Okay.
And they actually live at the tower. Their uniforms can cost up to $9,000 American money, because they do the pound and all that.
Yes.
I don't even get the translation. I just stuck with American because, America.
Yeah. Wow. And they have to pay for them themselves?
It didn't say. It just said that they cost $9,000. I mean, I will share some photos on the Facebook and send them to our social media
Do they
lady
still
to
have
see
to
if they would
dress
get on
like back then?
Instagrams.
Do
Instagram.
they?
So they're pretty fancy. They got two different ones.
Oh.
One they wear regular, and then if something important is going on, they have a little fancier.
Oh, so they have like, yeah.
Yeah. I told you they had another name that they go by.
Mm-hmm.
They're also known as beef eaters. Because they could eat all the beef they want to off the king's table. A couple of different stories that I read where this tradition started. One was that the king was worried that people was trying to take his throne, and so they were poisoning his food. So he let the guards eat it first, and if they didn't die, then he would eat.
Oh.
Another story was that he wanted to keep them happy and well nourished, so he was like, just eat all the beef you want. And so the name Beef Eater started. They have been active since the Middle Ages, and they still uphold many of the same traditions that have been carried out for centuries. To be considered,
Be a beef eater? Like to get the job? It's not like a normal application?
right, the very first thing you have to do, you have to have at least 22 years of service in the armed forces.
Okay, so they don't want young people.
That's oddly specific to me, they not 20 years, not 20, 22.
Okay, yeah, that is kind of odd.
Uh-huh. They have 20 plus duties up to the current time, including greeting and guiding visitors on tours. And I meant to, but I didn't write this down.
Oh, points off.
But I did read that the first female yeoman warder was accepted in like 2013, and the first black yeoman order was accepted in 2017.
Nice.
So,
that's cool.
Yeah. All right. Now on to the crown jewels.
Okay. So the Tower of London was built for what purpose to begin with?
Well, as a fortress, as a prison, as this is
Well, who lived there?
the kings and queens.
What king?
Well, the one that had it built that I already mentioned, Teach.
I apologize.
If you-
I apologize.
William the Conqueror.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then it just went on from
Because
there.
in some reason in my mind, I'm picturing this this prison tower just out in the middle of nowhere, one tower, and
Well, it's right in the central of London.
so well, not at the time. It probably wasn't, but
Good
still.
point.
So that's why, I'm just my brain is not computing because when you say tower, I'm literally picturing a tower.
Well, yeah, there's.
But a fortress has walls and all. Okay, gotcha.
They started with the towers, and then they built the fortresses around the towers.
I got you now. I'm understanding.
Picking up what I'm setting down?
Yes. So now that we know all of some background about it, the crown jewels.
Yeah. So they say that the Tower of London has gone from death and despair to housing the crown jewels. They are ceremonial objects that are worn and used during coronations of the kings and queens of Britain.
So basically, they're there until they're needed.
Right. They are still housed at the tower to this day at the Jewel House in the Waterloo block. You want to take a stab at the estimated worth of the crown jewels?
Millions? Trillions? Lower billions.
$32 billion.
Whoa.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, and you know those suckers are old and beautiful
Absolutely. And you can
and well guarded.
you go on tours, you can still see them to this day.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
Wouldn't it?
It would.
Now this one, this kind of caught me off guard because you'd think being as expensive as they are and as important as they are, they would be cleaned more often. But they are cleaned each January by the official crown jeweler.
Yeah, but I would think that if you cleaned them too much, you could also ruin them.
Well, I'm not thinking every day, but I'm thinking like every 6 months or something.
Are they like behind protected glass or
I imagine.
They ain't just sitting out on some dresser.
Yeah, no.
Like, where did we put that again?
Somebody broke in and stole it.
Probably.
Inside joke there.
Ah.
All right, so you ready?
Yeah.
On to the ghosts.
All right. Make me a believer.
I'll do my part. The two princes, not princesses, princes.
The two dudes.
Two dudes.
Okay.
12-year-old King Henry V of England and his 10-year-old brother Richard, Duke of York, haunt the tower to this day.
Ooh.
They mysteriously disappeared in 1483, believed to have been killed by their uncle, Richard, because he thought Edward was too young to be king, so Richard wanted to be king. Several weeks after they disappeared, Richard went ahead and pronounced himself king.
Huh. Convenient.
On July 17th, 1674, workers doing remodeling on the tower dug up a wooden box containing two small human skeletons.
He did.
Bones were found 10 feet deep under the staircase leading to the White Tower. 10 feet deep.
Dude, they didn't want them found.
Now, and we'll get in more of this here in a little bit, but they don't know that it's these two brothers.
Can they do some DNA testing?
We'll find out.
Okay. Just checking.
Matter of fact, we'll find that's on the very next bullet. You won't have to wait long.
Sweet. I was reading your mind.
DNA testing has been refused for two reasons. Number one, it could set a precedent for testing historical theories that would lead to multiple royal disinterments.
Whoa, I didn't even think about that.
And so the crown is like,
yeah, because
put a
then it
kibosh
could.
on that.
Yeah, I would probably want to do the same because then it would be like, so he wasn't supposed to, so he was, so that means they were, and then they were, and you don't even belong there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do they actually do?
Hang on. And so the second reason that it was refused, the uncertainty of what to do with the remains if the results were negative. So if it comes to find out that it's not these two princes, well, what do we do with the remains now?
You give them a burial.
Well, yes, but where? You know, England is very proper. We can't put them.
Then you find a church or area that would allow that to be done. So what are they doing now? Just put them on a box on top of a closet somewhere? Okay. I'm ready to go beat these people up.
Book the next flight to England, man.
Where them beef eaters? I got something to say.
We can go across on a cruise ship.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not that mad.
Deep breaths. Okay, so spirits have been seen on the stairway leading to the White Tower that the
Where their
stairway where
skulls
they were,
Okay, well, that would make sense.
and will melt away into the walls. And that part's in quotes, melt away into the walls.
So they like basically disappear. Okay.
Visitors claim to hear children giggling in the hallway that leads to the staircase, running around giggling.
Yeah.
Reports of children wearing knot shirts and holding hands. So, two brothers are looking out for each other even in the afterlife.
They were 12 and
10.
10. Why didn't they beat the crap out of that uncle?
Maybe the uncle never put his hands on him and his big burly guards
Maybe
did.
it really was. Maybe they didn't see the uncle and...
Also,
Don't talk to strangers, man.
claims of 2 young boys running and playing around on the grounds.
Oh, this is
They're
sad.
just kids.
They missed out on a whole life.
They did.
Like, it doesn't matter what kids they were. That's just wrong. Yeah. And of course, there's no record because, they were here yesterday, but now they're gone. Don't know.
Yeah.
Poof.
But Uncle seemed really worried, 2 weeks later. I'll just be king. Just appoint me.
All about the power.
That's it. Ghost number 2.
Ghost number 2. We got the boys, and now we got...
The ghost of Anne Boleyn.
Ooh.
Second wife of King Henry VIII. 3 years into the marriage, Anne was arrested for adultery.
Oh. Okay. Well, I was going there, but...
Taken to the Tower of London by barge on the River Thames.
Okay, got a question.
Goddamn.
Did she really commit adultery?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
She was beheaded on Tower Green and laid to rest in the Chapel Royal of St. Peter ad Vincula. So, translated St. Peter in chains.
Okay. Yeah, that hubby was not playing business.
He was not. The parish church of the Tower of London. 300 years after her death, a soldier states he saw a light burning in the closed chapel. Upon investigating, the soldier said he witnessed a procession of knights, and ladies being led by a headless woman. And
Okay.
she was a queen at one time, so.
Yes.
Returns annually on the anniversary of her death, May 19th, 1536. Well, 1536. She comes back every year. It's not always
So
1536.
does, on that day, does it return to them? 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm confused.
In her mind, it does.
Well, that's where she's stuck.
What mind? I mean, she have a head, so.
Well,
Anyway.
something is thinking. Something's telling her, ooh, still haunt this place.
That's right. In 1864, a soldier on duty near the lieutenant's lodging also saw Anne's ghost. He challenged a white figure but didn't get a response. He then plunged his bayonet into the figure, but he didn't hit flesh. It just went through it. Also witnessed by another soldier from a room in the Bloody Tower. Anne's ghost has also been witnessed at Hever, I don't know, Hever. Hever Castle, which was her childhood home.
Oh.
She has been seen under an oak tree, which is where she and Henry would go and have picnics, or that's where they would go court, under this big oak tree.
Maybe they should have laid out some rules.
Maybe so.
Okay, so this is what's going to happen if you cheat on me.
The prenup before the prenup.
Yeah.
Her ghost has also been witnessed walking across a bridge on the ground that crosses the River Eden. Rockford Hall in Essex is a manor house rumored to be where King Henry VIII first met Anne. According to a previous owner, there had been rumors of a headless lady and feelings of extreme cold in one of the rooms.
Why didn't she just hang out with her husband that had done this to her, had it done to her, and just haunt him? Or start speaking to the other wives that he had, because I'm pretty sure he had a lot. And I think he was kind of a little bit, no hamster up there. Something.
It might,
Maybe it was psychotic.
The hamster might be running, but it might need some grease on that chain.
Something.
That wheel.
Something.
Okay, ghost number 3. Margaret Pole.
Okay. So the boys were at this tower, and Anne was beheaded at this tower. Okay. Connecting dots here.
There you go. Margaret Pole was the Countess of Salisbury, and she was beheaded at Tower Green also, just like Anne. Do you want to know what her crime was?
Well, of course.
Margaret Pole? You want to guess?
Plucking chickens on a Sunday?
Dude, did you read my notes?
No.
Okay, well, that wasn't it.
I was like, no, dude, tell me that's not really a law. Like, that's just stupid.
But this is almost as ridiculous. Her crime was being the mother of Cardinal Pole.
So because your son is a cardinal, you get...
Well, so King Henry had made himself the supreme head of the Church of England, and Cardinal Pole opposed him for doing so.
So killed mom?
So he killed his mom, has his mom beheaded. You birthed that evil guy.
Or maybe it was like a message, like, I told you, if you opposed me, something bad was going to happen.
Her execution was horrendous.
Well,
No.
like...
Horrendous.
Horrendous?
Horrendous.
Like, it wasn't just a plain Jane, whack, and you're gone?
Margaret Pole was 67 years old.
Okay.
Execution year was 1541. The executioner was young and inexperienced and missed her head and hit her in the shoulders. She got up, trying to run away, big gash in her shoulders, blood everywhere, and he chased her down and continued to hack at her until she passed.
That's like what those nightmares are made of. Like, where was anybody else? Were they not going to catch her?
Well, it was a public execution, so I guess they just stood by and watched and let him finally do his job.
Well, they should have had more people there. They needed more beef eaters there to catch her.
Exactly. Eternal screams of agony echo throughout the tower to this day.
Now, that would be scary. That would be terrifying. That right there would definitely give me, like, the idea of, like, ooh.
There's something here. On the anniversary of her death, her ghost is seen running around the tower, blood streaming from wounds.
That would be scary.
That would be good.
I need to go and see this, though.
Okay. Kate, we're staying with you. All right. Next, we're going to move on to Arbella Stewart.
Arbella. That's a cute name.
It is cute. She was cousins with Elizabeth I.
Okay.
She was imprisoned by Elizabeth's husband, James I, for marrying William Seymour, nephew of Lady Jane Grey, without royal consent, because he was not of royal lineage.
Oh.
She was placed under arrest at the tower, where she either refused to eat or was purposely starved. So she starved to death. That's how she died.
Yeah.
Her ghost stalks the Queen's house frequently. A photo was recently taken at Rufford Abbey, and a ghostly apparition was spotted in the doorway. The figure is reported to resemble a painting of Arbella.
To resemble a painting.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have cameras back in...
Well, yeah, no, I'm just... my mind, like, it's very literal, so I'm picturing a painting floating there, and I'm like, no, that's not what he's meaning.
Yeah, no, so the painting of Arbella, this ghost in the doorway resembles her.
Resembles
that painting.
The painted lady in the picture.
Right. And the only other note I have on Arbella is describing Rufford Abbey.
So, has other people seen her? I mean, like recently.
That's the only documentation of her.
Well, she must not, hang around much.
She's got things to do. From what I understand, she was like not your typical lady. Like she had been engaged several times to be married, and she would either call it off or for reasons that I won't go into, it was called off. The wedding was called off.
Oh, but you brought it up. Were they stupid reasons?
No, just affairs.
From her. Oh, yeah. She liked to have more than.
She would have been a party girl.
She was a party girl.
She was a party girl.
Why be stuck with one man when I can have any of them I want?
There you go. Why box myself in?
There you go.
Yeah. So she was, and she had been several times, like I said, engaged, and this finally, she was like, okay, I'll get married, and she picks this guy. Well, she didn't get consent, so again, she's just saying, I live my life, I'll do what I do.
Well, that kind of bit her in the butt.
Yeah, a little bit. But Rufford Abbey is located, oddly enough, in Rufford, Nottinghamshire. Is it Shire or Shire? Like we say New Hampshire, we don't say New Hampshire.
I don't know. Tomato.
I'm going to say Shire. That sounds more Englandy.
Sure.
Rufford, New Hampshire. No, it's not. Rufford, Nottinghamshire, England. Originally, it was here we go, Cistercian Abbey, converted to a country house in the 16th century after King Henry VIII's dissolution of the monasteries.
Okay. Hold up.
Okay.
Don't
make me say that word again.
No, I thought you were just doing ghosts that were at the tower.
Well, I am, but this place was mentioned, so I wanted to let everybody know where it is. I didn't want to just leave it out in the open why'd you mention that place? Well, because that's where the picture was taken. She died at the tower, but that's where the picture was taken that resembled her painting.
Oh, okay. Thank you for tying that all back together, because I thought you were off chasing squirrels, and I'm like, I don't connect that dot.
Yeah, so I just, since I brought it up, I wanted to get, where it's located and its connection to it other than Arbella.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so next ghost. Lady Jane Grey. Arbella's cousin, we just talked about.
Okay.
She became queen after the death of King Henry VI. Edward named Lady Grey as his heir in his last will. Chose her over his half-sister Mary. She goes down in history as the queen with the shortest reign. You want to guess how long she was queen?
3 days.
A little longer.
Oh. Doesn't it take 3 days? It takes longer than that to even be coronated.
Yeah. She was queen for 9 days.
Oh, wow. Somebody didn't like her.
She was removed by the council for being Protestant.
Oh, my gosh.
She was replaced by Mary, who was Catholic. Executed in the Tower Green, along with her husband Dudley, in 1554.
Because of that?
No, there was another reason.
Okay.
Yeah. In 1957, a guard at the tower saw a phantom lady standing above him on the grounds. After calling out to another guard, they both spotted her walking above them in cold night air. So, like, when I say walking above him, he wasn't like on a lower level and she was on the upper level. She was walking in the air above them.
Okay, so why were they executed?
I'd have to go back and look at that and let you know next week. I was getting spooked. It was dark in the den when I was making these notes.
Okay.
Visitors to the tower still report seeing her to this day walking on the grounds of the Tower of London. our last ghost. And when you said earlier it's a lady in white in a castle, and I said, dang, you're close. Our last ghost, the White Lady. The White Tower is one of the oldest buildings, and it is the home of the White Lady. She has been seen several times standing in the window, waving as guests begin their tours.
Okay.
But she is only seen by kids.
Okay.
No others. But anybody, not just kids, as you walk into St. John's Chapel, the church there on the grounds, smell her flowery perfume.
Okay.
Still no information on who she was or how she died or how she connected to the Tower of London.
Interesting.
And that is the Tower of London.
Cool.
Bibliography. StrawberryTours.com. Articles called London's 5 Spookiest Ghost Stories. Hauntedrooms.co.uk. The Haunted Tour of London. RoyalCentral.co.uk. Tales of the Tower. Lady Jane Grey. Walks.com. The 13 Ghosts of the Tower of London. ReadersDigest.co.uk. The Tower of London's Ghost and Haunting. And hrp.org.uk. The Ravens at the Tower of London. HRP stands for Historical Royal Places.
Cool.
So that is the Tower of London. There was other ghost stories, but they were like, you can hear the sandals of monks walking in the chapel, or just little tidbit things like that. There wasn't nothing really to research, so
this is what you can research?
yeah, these were the most prominent.
Okay. Well, I'm not scared.
Still failed to make her a believer.
Kind of intrigued.
That one kind of scared you. You was like, okay, well, if that happened while we were there.
The noises?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that would scare anybody. Don't know that it would make me believe, because then I could question, people around here work here. They could be making all kinds of noises. They could be putting air fresheners or something in there to make it smell like that lady. They could be doing all kinds of stupid stuff.
Correct.
You got to keep the stories alive somehow. So it's going to take a lot more than just blanket stories to
Get you believing.
Yeah, see, I mean, paranormal is like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
So my grade?
You're great. I don't think I'm good at that part.
Oh, but you are.
Oh,
I
okay.
got a lot of information.
You did. I would probably just have to give you a B on that.
That's fair.
I probably grade way too hard on that.
I got an A last week, so.
Yes. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking for more when it comes to paranormal, more
Spooky.
yeah, like something very definite instead of it's been heard, or these people heard it in the 1500s or whatever. It's like, well, what about now? Like, can people still hear them now? Are they still seeing her? Can they see her during the day? Do they hear
So
the kids
you're-
during the day?
So you're wanting something more modern.
No, I want something concrete.
Okay. Okay, I got you.
Does that make more sense?
It does.
Because
It does.
I'm like, these to me are just, these are cool stories. They really are. Don't get me wrong. Y'all don't get me wrong. I like these stories. But to me, that's really all that they are. But that's not why you got a B.
I understand.
You know, B's run from what, 70
80.
to, yeah, that's a C. Ignore me. I don't know my math, my number line. So an 80 to an 89, so that could be anywhere in there. bringing up the lady where, her picture was taken, that kind of confused me.
I got you.
And then there was another little confusion thing. See, you didn't think I was actually listening. I was painting my toenails. Anyway.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. I was painting my toenails. So yeah, I mean, it was good. But it didn't pique my interest enough that I would get on a plane and go over there and wait to see and or hear these things.
I got you.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah, but they're cool stories.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just the tower.
It's not just a tower.
It's out there.
There will be pictures posted here in a bit.
Or a picture floating in the air.
All right, so that's the Tower of London. Something that we forgot to do last week. We said that we were going to give a movie review on The Nun 2.
That's right.
A little bit of background information. So it was Deanna and I at the movies. It was producer Ryan and our technical advisor, our son Sam, and Deanna's best friend, hey Veronica. And we all went. And so we pre-bought the tickets. So Veronica sat down. Deanna sat down. Producer Ryan asked me, here, you want to sit by your wife? And I was like, no, dude, I'll go sit down here by Sam. He's like, are you sure? And I was like, you have that seat. Okay. So producer Ryan sat down, Sam sat down, and then I sat down on the end. And so I always judge horror films by how many times Deanna hits somebody.
Or hides my face.
I'm an adult. So at the end of the movie, Ryan was like, oh my gosh, that was so good. And I was like, yes, sir, it was. Like, so how many times did Deanna hit you? Twice. And Veronica spoke up and said, she hit me twice also. So The Nun 2 is 4 hits good.
Yes.
It was a good movie.
It was a really good movie. And there's at least 2 good spots of jumping worthy. I mean, I'm ready to watch it again.
My favorite scene was, and not giving anything away, but my favorite scene was the newsstand.
Yes.
That was so cool.
That's like terrifying. Yes. And we're going to go watch
The Exorcist. The new Exorcist this Friday.
It's Friday night, so I will be able to give you a rundown on it because Brett will be asleep.
Negative.
Huh.
Not on horror films.
So what's going to be next week? I want something gooey and gory.
Hopefully it'll be one of our new subjects that we have.
Like Dark Hollywood or like
Dark.
Shoot 'em up, hacking up or whatever. Spooky. It's Halloween time. I need spooky.
You need spooky?
I need spooky.
Maybe you'll drop paranormal again.
Maybe so. You're gonna scoop me?
I'm not done shaking them, mixing it up, man. Okay.
Okay. Travis, it's for you.
Okay.
Conspiracy theories.
My favorite subject, conspiracy theories.
So, are we going to dive into the fact that there's conspiracy that LBJ had JFK killed because of all the things that he knew?
I don't know. We'll do something.
Okay. I mean, I don't care. You got to look it up. Do the research.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. Well, thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. Y'all have a great week.
Bye. Class is